My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is a special edition of the Connecticut Sports Talent Show, the top girls performer of the week. I'm pleased to have the Windsor Locks Junior, the center and forward, Tristin Oberg. Tristin, thanks so much for being able to come on.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, anytime. I think first and foremost, how's everything with you and your family during this pandemic?
It's we're doing good. It's a little hard with everything going on, but we're getting through it.
How has the situation been as far as, with the pandemic and everything and with things were shut down at the beginning? How did everybody keep themselves sane, I guess, is the best way possible?
Um, well, personally, me and my family, we did
Mhm.
a lot of house stuff together. We're just trying to stick through it, and it was really confusing at first, but I think it was confusing for everyone. But we just got through it together.
So kind of like positive vibe, bonding time in a way, right?
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of bonding time.
That's great to hear. I hope everything with you and your family continues to stay healthy as I think we're starting to see some light at the end of this very, very long and dark tunnel, you know? But sticking to a more positive side, you're the top performance of the week that I selected for girls. And I think looking at this week and your coach, Coach Knowe, is a fantastic coach, really has done a lot for the program, a positive guy who I look forward to seeing either texts or tweets, and such every day. Looking at the games that you played specifically, the first game against Granby, 13 points, 16 rebounds. The second game, now you didn't score a lot of points, but you did a lot as far as the rebounding and the assisting. And then the third game, you were a Division One player, 21 points, 25 rebounds, like video game numbers. So I guess my question for you is, do you view yourself as a player who can do multiple things? Because it's not like you're just a scorer. You can assist, you block, you rebound, you shoot free throws, you do everything well.
Yeah, I definitely think so. One of my main goals is to definitely do everything, but one of my main goals is to rebound. I think that definitely helps out the team more than people think.
Mhm.
Um, this year, because I'm a junior, I'm definitely trying to branch out. Like my past 2 seasons, I haven't really had as many assists or maybe blocks, but I think this year branching out to those different areas will definitely help the team out.
Do you think because of the assists and everything that you mentioned kind of adds to the weaponry of you as far as offensively and defensively? Because going forward, if you're just a one-trick pony, then you get figured out pretty quick. But if you can do multiple things, it not only keeps you on the court longer, it adds to you if you decide to want to play basketball at the next level.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And in the past few games, there has been certain plays that were made just for like certain passes or certain plays, and I think that it definitely worked out really well.
When you talk about the passes, are you talking about kind of the because yesterday I did a game where Sacred Heart, who is one of the top programs for boys basketball, sadly they're closing at the end of this year. Yesterday they had their point guard back, and with him back, they were moving around, they were cutting perfectly. It was a beautiful thing to watch. Is that something that Coach No has kind of used with the program as far as seeing you guys cut and move and not staying, stagnant, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, definitely. One of the plays that we knew that the team was gonna double team me at some point, and so coach automatically said, "Hey, we're gonna do this for you, and then we're gonna get you the ball, and you're gonna dish it off to someone." And it worked out a few times in the game.
Now, when you went up in game two of this week and you faced, which was back then, undefeated Suffield, kind of take me into what was, as far as the day before and then the day of, what was the talk like with your teammates, Coach No? Because I'm sure against anytime you face an undefeated team at the time, it's got to be kind of like, all right, we want to get there, we want to prove, we want to beat these people.
Yeah. So the first time that we played them, we were, I think, leading in every quarter except for the fourth quarter. We kind of lost it, and they're a really good team, so they definitely came back and wanted to win. Um, and then the day before, we were like in practice. It was hard. We were working so hard. We were working our butts off, and we're pushing everybody because we knew that we could beat them, and that because we're a really good team too, and we had the confidence that we could beat them. The day before, we were just so focused. Me and my teammates, we were texting in our group chat saying, "Okay, they do this and they do this. We can do this to them. Then that will help us win."
Mhm.
Um, it was very we were very close together and trying to break it down piece by piece. The day of, we were texting all day, watching more game tape, and I think at the end we definitely pulled off and we got the win. So it worked good.
Was there any adjustment that they made to you specifically from the first game to the second game that kind of helped, I guess, in your guys' favor?
Um, there was some points where they did have two girls on me at some point, and it did work in my favor because or our favor because one of the plays was the passing play where I got the ball, and because there's two girls on me, there would definitely be one of my teammates open, and we got the ball and we got extra points from that.
I think it also shows too the fact that you were, I understand the points were not there, but you weren't trying to be point hungry because you wanted to score so bad, either to beat them or, pat your stats, whatever. You saw the ability to be able to, okay, if I've got two players on me, it probably would be great for me to drive because either I'm going to get an offensive foul or I'm just not going to score because they're going to contest it. So let me trust in my other players, my other teammates, and give them an opportunity to have a higher percentage chance to be able to score.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and I think it's important to know that because it helps the team out. Like I don't, it's not a selfish thing. You should be selfish for the team, and you should want the best for what the team.
Too many times I see in the years I've been broadcasting in the NVL, and there's been a lot of talented players, but there's some who are young. Now they learn this as they're older, some of them, not all of them, but when they're young, they want to take on every defender. And it's great to see that. I love that competitiveness, but sometimes the best pass or the best shot is sometimes you giving it off, dumping it to another player. And I think for you to utilize that and see that at such a young age, I think is just another step in your development.
Yeah, definitely. And that kind of just reminded me because like I know when I was younger with my teammates, it would always be like a singular person thing. But now, especially in this program, like the Lady Raider program, it's more of a team instead of like an individual. And I that's what I really like about the team.
Now, I'm assuming that's something that Coach Knowe has really instilled in the program, as you mentioned, it being a team. Describe to me what he has meant to you, and then also what has he meant to Windsor Locks as well.
Um, well, there's a lot, but he's just one of those people who is just so good and he always wants the best for everyone. And at practices, he would go up to people individually and he'd be like, hey, you can work on this, but hey, you did a really good job in this aspect. And what he's done for the program is unbelievable. Like, it's just, I don't even know how to put it into words. It's just really good. And I'm so glad that I'm on this program.
Now, what has he meant to you? Because I'm sure when you were a freshman, you were probably raw in multiple ways as far as your, because you had the tools, but you didn't know how to use them yet. So, how did he, because as a junior putting up these numbers, typically, like at first, before I even saw what year you were, I looked at it and said, okay, this has to be a senior. I mean, typically these are numbers you don't see. But for to be a junior, I'm sure he really helped your development along the way.
Oh, 100%. My freshman year when I came in, because I was always, even though I'm not that tall, like just 5'10" for like an average post player, they're usually taller. But when I came in, I was the tallest on my middle school team and travel team. And I was always told, hey, go to the post, stand there, put your hands up, and then try to get the ball off of a putback and get a rebound. But when I came into this program, he really trusted me and he wanted to push me to my best playing ability, and he said, "Hey, you're gonna do more than post moves, and you're gonna be dribbling by your senior year, and you're gonna be shooting threes by your junior year." And he's really pushed me to my limit, and he still thinks I have more to do.
Is there a game in particular, either this year or in the last couple of years that you've been with the program, that either he said something to you, either during maybe a timeout or halftime or at the end of a quarter, that you were able to kind of, it went in one year and then you were able to not just have it just be like, okay, it went in one year to the other year, but you were able to do what he said or maybe implement it to you and said, all right, you can do this better. And then you did it.
Yeah, it was actually the last game against East Granby. Um, the start the start of the game was kind of rough for me. I was I got the ball a lot of times on offense, but it just wasn't going in. I had at least 6 or 7 missed layups, and he could see that I was getting really frustrated. And at one of the mass breaks, he said, "Hey, you got to listen. The ball's going to eventually go in. Just visualize it going in." And the free throws that I just made that went in, he said, "You just got to remember that you got to remember the ones that you make, not that you miss."
I think that's a positive, again, going back to his positivity. I think for a player who misses, a bunch of shots or who misses a layup to the cup, I think free throws, in my opinion, I've said this on the air many times, if you can just get the ball in the basket somehow, some way, it could be just a prayer that you throw up there just because, or free throws, exactly, that too. I think anything to just see the ball go through the hoop is a positive step because then it's like, all right, I got it finally in the hoop. Now let's try working on, like he said, being able to just get to the cup. I think that's something that being able to keep yourself on a positive lane going through is the best way to be able to try to get off that snide.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that really helped me out because I started making the baskets and I started getting fouled, and then I made all my free throws, and in the end, it eventually worked out. So
Now, looking at specifically the team in and of itself. Now, I know, beginning, I think it was a little bit just because of the pandemic and just trying to get yourself back into shape. It takes a little bit of time, but now you guys are on a roll, and I feel like as going forward, you guys could be a team that could be a force to be reckoned with in the tournament.
yeah, definitely. That was our goal this year because last year the state tournament it got canceled, and we really wanted that championship banner for the state tournament. And going in this year, our number one goal was to get a banner for the NCCC because we don't have a state tournament this year. But that's
Mm.
always in our head, and every practice and every game, we're always thinking about that, and we're always working harder and pushing ourselves to get there because we really want it.
And now with the N-Trip C, and I don't know, are they allowing fans to the games or just some fans or none?
Yeah, it's been changed a few times, but yeah,
Okay.
we have people come to our games.
Because I know looking at again, I haven't been to a Windsor Locks game, so I apologize. But Coach Knowe has always either tweeted out or he's mentioned me a couple times about the ship, and I've seen pictures, and all I can say is I would not want to mess with that ship because when before COVID, it looked like the kind of crowd that would get pretty rowdy, especially in the gym that I've seen the pictures. It looks like it would be a pretty intense but fun time.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of our favorite things, as especially as me and my teammates. That's our favorite thing. Especially COVID, it changed it because our fans were amazing. Like we had really good fans. A lot of people would come to our games, and that's what hyped us up during the games, and that's how we won so many games. It was mostly because the fans they were really good fans, and because of COVID, now there's obviously not a lot of people coming to our games, but the people that do come, they fill in the other people's shoes that aren't there, so it's really nice.
Now, how many games do you have left before the N-Trip C tournament?
We have 2 more games this week.
Okay. Now, do you know? I don't know if the seedings have been out yet, but do you know where you girls are as far as the seeding wise?
They haven't come out with that yet. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely think we'll be top 3 for our side.
And is the N-Trip C allowing all teams to get in? Is it double elim? Because I think what was it? I think the Berkshire League is doing double elimination for both the boys and the girls. But is the N-Trip C just doing single elim?
I'm actually not sure about that.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because I know each league is doing something different. The NVL is single limb, as I mentioned, the Berkshire League is double limb, but it's just nice to see that even though there's not going to be a CIAC state tournament, at least there's going to be some sort of a tournament, which I think bodes well for not just the spring, which looks like could go well, hopefully COVID, with all that, but also too just going forward where by the time you're a senior, and it stinks that you missed not one but two chances to go to the CIC state tournament, and also the seniors who were juniors last year and such. But I think at least, hopefully, if everything goes well with the vaccines and such, that you can have an opportunity to play next year in a CIC state tournament and hopefully can make a run.
Yeah, definitely. This year when we heard that the state tournament was going to be canceled again, we were kind of heartbroken, but at the same time, we were still able to play basketball. Like we were very grateful that we got to play basketball at all, and even just to have an NCCC tournament, it means a lot because we can still get a banner from that, and that's our number one goal.
And just like just said, the state tournament could be the NCCC tournament, which I think could have. And I can't be at every game, but I would think almost every game would feel like a state tournament because you're not only facing somebody who who's in your own league, in your own conference or whatever, but also because it feels like a state tournament, knowing that there is not going to be one down the road.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's good. Tristin, I really do appreciate you coming on. I do have one more question for you. As far as going forward this year and then into next year, are you looking at potential colleges as far as playing basketball? What division are you prepped potentially? What's the deal with that?
Yeah, so I actually been starting like my college searching and stuff recently.
Awesome.
I still don't know what I really want to do, like to major in. I have been starting looking at colleges, but I also play track and field, and I do the throwing events. So I'm really undecided which sport or maybe both. So, but it's been really good so far.
Has anybody told you, or has Coach Knowe mentioned, where your ceiling is as far as the highest being Division 1 and the floor being, Division 3, Division 2?
Not really, but I definitely think if I work really hard, especially in the off season with AAU, I
Mhm.
definitely think that I could be there.
You know what? I think if you keep doing what you're doing and Coach Knowe, who continues to do so much for the program, I think there's a possibility for you to be able to play at the next level if you decide to choose that. I mean, you could want to go do track, or like you said, you could do both. I mean, I've seen athletes, I played all the way through for Division 3 for baseball, and I saw kids or young men and women, they're not really kids, but they played both sports. So it can be done. It's even been done in Division 1. I've seen it all the time in basketball. What was it, a couple years ago? There was a kid I'm forgetting the college. He played baseball and he played basketball. So it can be done.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely the goal. Because right now, I really like both sports, and I think it's going to be hard choosing one or the other. So that's
Mhm.
definitely in my head. That's definitely something to that I'm thinking about.
Well, hopefully you can, looking at colleges is typically never fun just because of the stress and having to be like, oh, well, there's this school and there's this school and there's that. But I think, it seems like you kind of have your head straight, straightforward, narrow, know exactly what you're looking for. So, I wouldn't push again, you don't have to listen to me, but as far as the major, just go where you feel like you can succeed and have an opportunity, the sport will always be there. Obviously you want to pick a great program, but also academic wise, because basketball, you can only go so far. It's a child's game. We're all too old at some point. It's a saying that Moneyball, when the movie came out for baseballs, an old scout said that. But being able to have education going forward can last a lot longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. That's something that everyone's been saying to me. Just in case, like, if you fall out of loving basketball, you still want to go to the school that you really like just for the school.
It's great to hear. Tristan, I really do appreciate you coming on. Good, best of luck the rest of the way, and tell Coach Knowe I said hello because, like I said, love the guy. It was great to have on, and hopefully you can come back on in the future, and I can also get Coach Knowe after he's done coaching you guys, and hopefully you're hoisting a banner for the ship next year, so that then when they see it, then they can go crazy.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Anytime. I'll wrap things up here in the Connecticut Sports Talent Show. So until next time, stay safe. And remember, CT stands for Connecticut Talent. And I'm on a journey to find them all. Have a good one, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.